Hey now everybody, this is Jamie.
Hey, this is Chris.
And this is Steve.
And now we're into day 3 where I'm going to give my list of pop culture board games. Okay, so we started off all of these talking about what pop culture means to each of us. Mm-hmm. So it's my turn.
Yeah, is it going to be totally different than ours?
Not really.
A mishmash
it's more
of
like
both?
yours than it is Steve's.
That's right, because mine's right.
Oh my God.
So my definition of pop culture board games is basically things that are in the minds of the pop culture. I might break from that a little bit in some capacity because mine do kind of fall into subculture like Chris's did.
That's because pop culture has become subculture.
I don't know about that. But anyway, mine are basically intellectual properties that are known by people. It's something that you would recognize from now in the news, on the cartoons you watch or whatever. So here we go. My very first one is a pop culture icon. Something that if you grew up in the 80s, it was something that, unless you're a maniac, was one of the greatest things you ever saw in your life. And that would be Big Trouble in Little China, the board game.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent choice. Great movie. Awesome game.
Fantastic movie. And great game.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, you want me to put that in there? Yeah, okay. Great game, too.
In Big Trouble in Little China, it's a giant board of Chinatown. And you play all the characters from the movie. You play Jack Burton, Kurt Russell. You also play Egg Shen, Gracie Law, all those different characters. And each one of those characters has their own goals, little quests. And many of them are based on the movie. And actually, there's some extra story thrown in there, too. So Jack Burton, he's going after the Pork Chop Express. His truck was taken away and he's looking for it. And that's sort of your quest. So you're running around the board. You're fighting all the different gangs of Chinatown. You're fighting the weird monsters that David Lopan sends after you. And at a certain point, it goes to Act 2 where you flip the board over and now you're in David Lopan's lair, where he has tons of bad guys in there that you have to fight. And you're trying to assassinate him and accomplish your goals. And so it's basically just a big old adventure game. And really what captured me about this game more than anything else was the fact that there was story added to the game. Not just you're playing out what's going on in the movies, but there's a story book. And when you go into these different quests, you go into, like into the flop house or whatever, and something's going on in there. So you read like a passage and then it gives you two options. And one of them's a little bit harder to do than the other. So you kind of know, I might not make it, but the reward's going to be better. And the story continues throughout a series of little stories that you read. And it's written so well because it sounds like the movie when you're reading it, even though it's made up stuff. It's new content from the movie.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you were playing Jack Burton, I remember there was a scene where in the game where people were coming into the grocery store you were in. And one of your choices was to hide in this pickle barrel. And I was like, well, that wasn't in the movie. But I could see Jack Burton doing that.
Yeah, and somehow I failed.
You failed it horribly.
And they found me in the pickle barrel. And it's so cool because even when you fail these quests, the story continues. It just doesn't give you the same rewards and like a little bit different things happen. If you succeed, you get better rewards. So you don't feel like... sometimes when you do these story quests, you get to a point, if you fail to roll, the story just ends.
Yeah.
And you walk out of the place and you go on a different quest. But this one, even if you fail, the game continues and it's fun to fail. It's fun to fail.
Yeah. I totally agree. This is a fantastic choice because when I was playing this game, this is another one where the IP scared me. Mm-hmm. I was like, Big Trouble in Little China is so iconic. Like they're going to screw it up somehow. Like they're just going to do it.
Oh, I'm with you.
And
I'm with you. I swore this was going to be bad. Up and down.
Yep. And I sat down to play this game and I loved it. I loved it because I felt like I was in the movie. It is so thematic. It was just beautiful. Like to the point where I wanted it to go on longer because I wanted to experience more of the game.
Yeah, this game has it all. Really, it's got the 3 wins in it you're fighting against. It's got the crazy street gangs. It's got the monsters that come out. It's got the part where Jack Burton dresses up like a nerd.
He does.
In a cat house. It's just fun. If you like the movie, this game is like you're playing the movie. And it's awesome.
And a ton of cool minis.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Even one of the minis, Steve looked at it's the little floating. It looks like a beholder from D&D, little floating ball. And Steve said, "Looks like Dave Lopan put that beholder in the microwave." But it looks just like in the movie because that's what it looks like. All right, Big Trouble in Little China is my first pick. Now my second one is a newer game, and it's based off of a newer intellectual property, one that was a series of books. And then our good friend Jeff Engelstein designed this game, this board game, and it's absolutely fantastic. And it's based on the intellectual property, The Expanse. I love this show. Now, in Chris's list in the first week, we talked about Battlestar Galactica being the best science fiction television show that has ever been made, or movie, or anything else. The Expanse is right there for me.
Yeah,
Right there for me.
I gotta watch it. I think part of the reason I'm not watching it is because I'm afraid I'm gonna like it better than Battlestar.
I don't think you are.
Because Battlestar is on a pedestal for me, and
You're only cheating yourself there, Chris.
that's fine.
You are.
I'll live in my delusion. That's all right.
But listen, this game, The Expanse, designed by Jeff Engelstein, is amazing. It's an amazingly done board game. And I'll tell you right off the bat that this game doesn't look like much. I mean, even the box is a small box. The box isn't super attractive. You get it out the board, you're like, it's got like some cubes and stuff in it. But let me tell you, it completely transcends that. This game is just elegant from beginning to end. And Jeff had said that he was inspired by Twilight Struggle. You have all these cards, and you're pulling cards to either take actions with those cards or to use the card for its specific action. You're reserving those cards. You're flying around the galaxy, trying to have territory control throughout the galaxy. And the scoring methods in the game are wonderful. It's just wonderful as there's like the staggered scoring throughout the galaxy and throughout the solar system, plus throughout the game. I love this game so much. It's just so well done.
I will say, when I first saw this game, I was like, oh, The Expanse, it's going to be this giant, epic craziness. I was thinking Battlestar. I was thinking Firefly. It's going to be all over the table. And I walked up and I was like, that's it?
Yeah, it's not very expansive.
I was like, this is just
not very expansive.
This big, giant thing everybody's talking about, and it's this little tiny board. But everybody that I've talked to has loved this game. They say it's fantastic. So I got to get a play in. I haven't played it yet.
And I'll say that when I first played the game, I had never watched The Expanse. I always wanted to watch The Expanse, just never got around to it. And I played the game and I loved the game. And then after I watched all of The Expanse, I actually watched The Expanse. It urged me to watch the show from playing the game, right? Now I know who all those characters are. Now I know what all's going on in this world. It didn't need that. I didn't need it to love this game. But it helps. Now that I'm playing it, I'm seeing all the characters and I'm so excited. The Rocinantes, I get to control the Rocinante this time. It was so great. I love The Expanse. Well done game.
It's good to know that, because I think a lot of times these IP games scare away people, thinking that, because I don't know the characters or I'm not familiar with the series, I'm not going to have any fun. And I will say Battlestar, to me, is kind of like that. Like, you want to know who the characters are when you play, because they're all themed to those characters. It's good to hear that The Expanse is not really like that.
All right, well, my last pick for today, now I started off in the 80s, and then I went up to present day. Now I'm going way back to, I don't even know, what is it, 60s or something? My next game is from Matt Leacock, Thunderbirds. You got a problem with that, Chris?
These freaking puppets scare the hell out of me.
You have a phobia of these puppets?
I do. They scare me to death.
Oh, come
I
on.
do not want, like, I saw this game and I was like, this is a nightmare game. Like, I will never play it just because of those puppets. I was terrified as a kid of those puppets. I think they're still creepy today. Yeah, I know. Whatever. There are plenty of people out there that think these puppets are Satan spawn.
Anyway, so Thunderbirds was it was a show where all the characters were puppets in the 1960s, and the theme of it is they are a group of individuals who go around the world in these various rocket ships and jets and boats and things, and they rescue people who are in trouble. And this is what the game really is. You're going around the world rescuing people from problems. And so it was designed by Matt Leacock, who designed Pandemic. So it's got a very similar vibe to Pandemic. But actually, I think it's better than Pandemic. And that's because there's an added element to this. Now, I mentioned they went around on rocket ships and jets and all these different things.
Is that element raw terror?
Apparently so.
You have
Apparently so.
nightmares.
So all of these different vehicles that I mentioned, you're in the jets and you're in the, the rocket ships and all this different stuff. This game takes into account those things. In that, say in Florida, there's giant alligators that break out of the zoo and they're terrorizing people. So you got to go take care of that problem. There's certain characters that the players will play and vehicles that they can get in to go there that will give you bonuses to try to figure that out, to try to solve that problem. And you have to use a vehicle to get them there. So some people might be in the wrong vehicle, in the wrong location. You have to swing by and pick them up and take them to Florida while dealing with all the different problems around the world. You can even go up into space. You can go to the moon. You can go to a space station. There's just all these different things that are going on, and you got to manage all these things. Game is fantastic. It's well done. It's a good cooperative game. And these puppets aren't scary because the cards are hilarious looking. Got these goofball puppets on them doing things. It's
New
funny.
theme. New theme. Sounds like everything else sounds great. Different theme.
You need a new co-host. That's ridiculous.
We wanted to get a puppet.
Oh,
These creepy puppets.
I'll put something up on Craigslist. We'll see what we get.
Now, I'm pretty sure that you guys have never played this one, right?
No, I have
Nope,
not.
I have not either.
Well, we have to sit down and play it one day. I'm sure the cards won't scare you too badly, Chris.
I'll play it. I'll play it. But
Marionettes, man.
That show scared the hell out of me. It reminded me of Dark Crystal. That show, the puppets in Dark Crystal are creepy as hell.
They're weird looking.
Oh God.
Did Team America World Police frighten you?
Yes, the way they move, it's ridiculous. It's like on the verge of that uncanny valley. I'm telling you.
If anyone out there's a therapist, contact Chris at thesecretcabal.com.
I'm perfectly comfortable being scared of these puppets, so I don't need a therapist.
Whatever. Anyway, so that is my list of pop culture board games. Come on back next time where we pick a new topic. We banter around about that. And until next time, have a good one, everybody.
Have a good one, guys.
See you later.
Thanks so much, everybody. If you've enjoyed this video, please do us a giant favor by subscribing to the channel and clicking that wacky bell icon. If you're into board games, miniatures games, role-playing games, we have a bunch of audio podcasts you might enjoy. You can find those at thesecretcabal.com or on iTunes and Stitcher.